येषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवत्ये उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 32, Text 22. तस्मात् त्वां सर्वभावेन भजस्व परमेष्ठिनं तद्गुणाश्रयया भक्त्या भजनीया पदाम्बुजम्. Synonyms: Tasmat, therefore, Tvam, you, Devahuti, Sarva Bhavena, with loving ecstasy, Bhajasya, worship, Parameshtinam, the Supreme Personality of God, Tadguna, the qualities of the Lord, Ashraya, connected with, Bhaktya, by devotional service, Bhajaniya, worshipable, Pad Ambujam, whose lotus feet. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear mother, I therefore advise that you take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for His lotus feet are worth worshipping. Accept this with all devotion and love, for thus you can be situated in transcendental devotional service. Purport: the word Parameshthina is sometimes used in connection with Brahma. Parameshti means the Supreme Person. As Brahma is the Supreme Person within this universe, Krishna is the Supreme Personality in the spiritual world. Lord Kapila Deva advises his mother that she should take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna because it is worthwhile. Taking shelter of demigods, even those in the highest positions like Brahma and Shiva, is not advised herein. One should take shelter of the Supreme Godhead. Sarva Bhavena means in all loving ecstasy. Bhava is the preliminary stage of elevation before the attainment of pure love of Godhead. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. One who has attained the stage of Bhava can accept the lotus feet of Lord Krishna as worshipable. This is also advised here by Lord Kapila to his mother. Also significant in this verse is the phrase Tad Gunashraya Bhaktya. This means that discharging devotional service unto Krishna is transcendental. It is not material activity. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Those who engage in devotional service are accepted to be situated in the spiritual kingdom. Brahma Bhutaya Kalpate. They at once become situated in the transcendental kingdom. Devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is the only means for attaining the highest perfection of life for the human being. This is recommended herein by Lord Kapila to his mother. Bhakti is therefore nirguna, free from all tinges of material qualities. Although the discharge of devotional service appears to be like material activities, it is never saguna or contaminated by material qualities. Tadgunashraya means that Lord Krishna's transcendental qualities are so sublime that there is no need to divert one's attention to any other activities. His behavior with the devotees is so exalted that a devotee need not try to divert his attention to any other worship. It is said that demonic Putna came to kill Krishna by poisoning him, but because Krishna was pleased to suck her breast, she was given the same position as his mother. Devotees therefore pray that if a demon who wanted to kill Krishna gets such an exalted position, why should they go to anyone other than Krishna for their worshipful attachment? There are two kinds of religious activities, one for material advancement and the other for spiritual advancement. By taking shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna, one is endowed with both kinds of prosperity, material and spiritual. Why then should one go to any demigod? Text 23. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Yad Brahma Darshanam. Synonyms: Vasudeve, unto Krishna; Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead; Bhakti Yoga, devotional service; Prayojitaha, discharge; Janayati produces, asu, asu, very soon, vairagyam, detachment, jnanam, knowledge, yat, which, Brahma darshanam, self-realization. Translation: engagement in Krishna consciousness and application of devotional service unto Krishna make it possible to advance in knowledge and detachment as well as in self-realization. Purport: it is said by a less intelligent man that bhakti yoga or devotional service is meant for persons who are not advanced in transcendental knowledge and renunciation. But the fact is that if one engages in the devotional service of the Lord in full Krishna consciousness, he does not have to attempt separately to practice detachment or to wait for an awakening of transcendental knowledge. It is said that one who engages unflinchingly in the devotional service of the Lord actually has all the good qualities of the demigods developed in him automatically. One cannot discover how such qualities develop in the body of a devotee, but actually it happens. There is one instance where a hunter was taking pleasure in killing animals, but after becoming a devotee, he was not prepared to kill even an ant. Such is the quality of a devotee. Those who are very eager to advance in transcendental knowledge can engage themselves in pure devotional service without wasting time in mental speculation. For arriving at the positive conclusions of knowledge in the absolute truth, the word Brahma Darshanam is significant in this verse. Brahma Darshanam means to realize or to understand the transcendence. One who engages in the service of Vasudeva can actually realize what Brahman is. If Brahman is impersonal, then there is no question of Darshanam, which means seeing face to face. Darshanam refers to seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Unless the seer and the seen are persons, there is no Darshanam. Brahma Darshanam means that as soon as one sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can at once realize what impersonal Brahman is. A devotee does not need to make separate investigations to understand the nature of Brahman. Bhagavad Gita also confirms this: Brahma Bhutaya Kalpate. A devotee at once become a self-realized soul in the absolute truth. End of purport. नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे I seek the I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas so that I can use today's lecture to purify myself. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to purify myself. And please pardon me if I made any mistake in summarizing these verses. So I'm going to read from a lecture given by His Grace Niruddha Prabhu, and I have also taken some points from Srila Prabhupada's purport. So, in the first verse, verse 22, we are recommended to take shelter of Krishna and not of any demigods. The word Parameshti is sometimes referred to Brahma because he is the top personality of the universe. But here we are talking about the top personality in the spiritual world, which is Lord Krishna. Now, the words Sarva Bhavena means with loving ecstasy. We need to take shelter of Krishna. And Bhava Bhakti means in the mood of bhakti. So, we have seen in Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada quotes that the people who worship demigod are actually worshipping me indirectly, right? Because I am the one who is giving them the their whatever they come and pray. I am the one who is providing them. So we should be respectful to the demigods. Just it doesn't mean that we are worshipping Lord Krishna and not worshipping the demigods, that we are disrespecting them. We should be very careful because they are also devotees of the Lords, they are also Vaishnavas, so we should be very respectful, but we should respect them in the knowing their rightful position. So, for example, in a family, there is father, mother, brother, sister, uncles, aunts, so many relatives we have. But we do not call our uncle our father, right? Of course, we respect our uncle, but the position that our father has, that nobody else can have. So similarly, uh, we should know who is our supreme father, right? And what is his position. Now, uh, sometimes we go to Lord asking for some of our desires to be fulfilled, right? Especially material desire, right? People ask uh, for curing somebody suffering from a disease. Oh Lord, please cure them. Or even some people go and ask for promotion in job or material prosperity. So many things we go and ask. Now, demigods are quick to be pleased and they fulfill the desires more easily, right? That is a fact. Whereas Krishna may not fulfill your desire immediately. Because Krishna is like the father who knows what is the right thing for kid. So, for example, we may have cavities in our teeth, right? And we cry that please give me lollipop. I want to buy a lollipop. Now, a good father will not listen to us. He will explain to us that you have cavities. First, you need to get these treated and get your teeth all fixed up. Then you can have it, right? So he may not give, and the kid may not like it that time. So similarly, we may ask for all kinds of things to Krishna, but Krishna will give us only what is right for us. This we should remember. So we should not get discouraged if something we ask and doesn't get fulfilled, right? Because Krishna knows what is right for us and when it is right for us. Now, Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita that verse 7.23 that men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet, right? So we have seen there are several stories we will come across in Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures that demigods are not very secure in their position. Actually, being a demigod, whether it's Indra or Brahma, these are not a fixed person. This is a position. And anybody who qualifies can get that position. They have for certain amount of time, and then you can get that position if you really do uh, those kind of austerities. So this is why Lord Indra becomes very disturbed when somebody is doing a lot of sadhana or devotional service. He thinks, is he trying to get my position? And we have seen examples of sage Vishwamitra, how he tried to disturb him. Later in Srimad Bhagavatam, we will read about the story of Prithu Maharaj. So Prithu Maharaj did 100 Ashwamedh Yagyas. So when he was doing his last yagya, so it is said that if you do 100 Ashwamedh Yagyas, you can get the position of Indra. So, but he was not doing for that intention. But Indra disturbed his 100th yagya. He did not want him to complete. So there are several stories like that. So we need to understand that their positions are not secure. So their boons are also not going to be permanent. Their position is temporary and their boons are temporary. And then we have so many examples of those, like we know that how Ravana and Hiranyakashipu, for example, they did lot of austerity and they asked for boons from Lord Brahma. But those boons could not save them, right? They wanted to become immaterial, immortal, and they they asked for such boons, but ultimately those boons were temporary and they had to die. because they were not following the path of dharma. Now, coming to verse 23 here, this is a very, very important verse, and I request you all to read it and, if possible, remember it. Here, the definition of pure devotional service is explained and what it means to uh, perform pure devotional service. So, we have also learned in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that pure devotional service has to be ahetuki and apratihata. Ahetuki means without any material motivation, and apratihata means it should be uninterrupted, it should be constant. So, the supreme devotional service is where we develop the love of God, right? And this should be unmotivated. We should not perform devotional service because we want something in return. It should be only there because we love Krishna and we enjoy this relationship with Krishna. Now, in this verse, there is a word mentioned, Brahma Darshanam. So, what does Brahma Darshanam means? That if you see Krishna face to face, then you don't need to know about his impersonal features. So, let's take an example. We all know that the sun planet is there and sun god is there, and we experience his energy by the light and heat and sun rays that are coming to us, right? Now, one may say that no, there is no person sitting there, it's just a planet which is giving heat and light. So that is the impersonal understanding. But if, let's say, we were able to go to sun planet, let's say there somebody could take us, right? So, and if we meet the sun god there, so we will realize that not only there is a person, but also we will see the light and heat and everything on that planet. So by that realization, everything else is automatically understood. But if one wants to be limited in saying, no, I only feel the heat on my body and I see the sun rays. So that is the impersonal understanding. So if you really want to understand, your goal should be to do Brahma Darshanam. And with that, you would not need impersonal understanding. Now, the last point in this verse is mentioned that the devotees of Lord get all good qualities, right? So, how does that happen, right? So, we all have heard this verse, Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langayate girim, yat kripatam aham vande paramananda madhavam, Shri Guru Deenataranam. So, it is said that even the dumb start speaking, the lame can cross the mountains. So this is the kripa of Lord Shri Krishna. This is the kripa of Guru, right? And we have seen the example in this verse, example of Mrigrari is mentioned. So this hunter, he was Mrigrari, and not only he used to kill the animals, he was very sadistic. He used to torture them. So for example, he will cut one leg and he will let them just suffer and these kind of thing. He won't kill them instantly, he will make them suffer. So he was such a mean hunter. But Narada Muni showed him, right? Showed him his future, what is happening, how he will pay for all this bad karma that he is doing, and when he saw that, he got horrified, and then he became a devotee. Similarly, we have example of Valmiki, who composed the Ramayana, right? So Valmiki, his name was Ratnakar, and he was a dacoit. So what he used to do, he will rob people, and he will sometimes kill also if somebody opposes. So that's how he used to maintain his family. So Narada Muni came to him and asked him, hey, why do you do this? So he said, I do this to support my family. So Narada Muni said, is your family going to take the share of sins that you are accumulating? And he said, yes. So Narada Muni said, why don't you go and ask to them? So he went and asked them, and they all said, no, we are fine with taking your money, but we will not take your sins. So he was astonished to hear that, and he came back. So Narada Muni said, you need to stop doing these things and chant Lord Ram's name. Now, Valmiki was so fallen that he could not even say the simple word Ram. He used to say Mara, 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 Mara. So uh, Narad Muni said, that's fine, you will keep chanting Mara, Mara, and like you will see, if you keep saying Mara, Mara, Ram automatically comes, right? So Mara, 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 Mara. So Ram will come. And there is a quotation, there is a verse in Hindi poetry which says, Ulta naam japat jag jana, Valmiki bhai Brahma samana. That means the whole world knows that by chanting Lord Ram's name in reverse, Valmiki became Brahma Rishi. So imagine devotees, if somebody can become Brahma Rishi by chanting the name the opposite way, what will happen to people who chant it properly and who chant in the right mood and who practice this devotional service? So that is what our path is, right? This is what Srila Prabhupada came to do. Uh, one time, one of Srila Prabhupada's disciple asked him that, Prabhupada, now we have given up all sinful activities, we have taken initiation and we are following four regulative principles. What is next? So Prabhupada said, now you have come to human platform. Now you are a human being by doing this. Now you perform sincere sadhana and by chant, and then by that you will achieve the love of Godhead. So, uh, when they did that, we know there are examples of Srila Prabhupada's disciples who developed so many good qualities, right? So this is what this verse is saying, that devotees automatically develop good qualities. We know that Prabhupada's disciples, the young boys, they had never done, some of them had never done printing, never done publishing, never done accounting, never done preaching, and so many other things. We know the example of Sham Sundar Prabhu. He himself says that he had done all the drugs and all kinds of sinful activities, but by Prabhupada's mercy, he was able to carve deities. He carved the deities of London Temple and so many things. So we can see, like by example of Prabhupada's disciples, that how they develop good qualities by following regulative principles and performing devotional service. So we ourselves, we can look in our heart and introspect, and we will realize that we have also made a lot of mistakes in our life. But now that we have come to this platform, we need to realize that we should not commit those mistakes again. We should follow the path of bhakti. And uh, this is not enough. Not committing sinful activities is not enough. We need to uh, uproot this tendency to commit the sinful activities. And how this tendency will be uprooted by chanting the holy name. So we need to chant the holy name, perform loving devotional service to the Lord, take the association of devotees, and we will be delivered from the cycle